But I understand that people only ask them because they truly are seeking guidance to them. So I just wanted to come on and address them today. If you are new here, welcome to the Goddess Gateway. I am Charmaine the Goddess. And I just wanted to go over some things today. I am a spiritual life coach and healer and a lot of other things. And today I wanted to talk about love spells and things of that nature, because a few people have been reaching out to me and they've been asking me about how to do a love spell, how to bind somebody to them, etc., etc. And I'm like, I don't recommend you do that, because that is very low vibrational. You cannot attempt to take away anybody's freedom of choice. Everyone has the gift of freedom of choice, and when you try to take that away, you are operating at a low vibration. So, if you have ever done a love spell yourself, if you have ever wanted to do a love spell but didn't know how to do it, don't do it. Don't do it. Now, magic is a very real thing. Magic is simply you bringing into reality, manifesting that which you desire. However, before you do any magic, before you light any candles, before you write a petition and burn it, make sure you ask yourself a question. Two questions. Does this attempt to take away someone else's freedom of choice? And does this harm anyone? Will this harm myself or will this harm my others? A lot of people will do like make your enemies suffer kind of magic or kind of ritual or whatever. That's very low vibrational. Why? Because it is going to cause harm to that other person. Once we realize and truly embody that we are all one, why would you want to harm somebody else? Why not just level up, boss up, raise your vibration and live your best life without worrying about somebody else? Because if they are able to bother you, that means you are a vibrational match to their bullshit. So work on yourself. Don't try to take away anybody's freedom of choice. Don't do these spells. I am telling you, if you are doing them, if you are seeking someone to do them, you are at a low vibration. You're at a low vibration. Don't do it. Also, I have been getting people asking me about, like, they'll go to a reader and the reader will say, oh yeah, you have low energy around you or negative energy around you. Pay X amount of dollars and we can get this cleared off. Does that even sound right to you? Does that even make sense to you? I had somebody tell me that a person told them that if they didn't send them $300, then they were going to make it so that people around them started dying. And she was so terrified. She was like, oh my gosh, what should I do? I don't have the money, X, Y, and Z. That only has the energy the power that you give to it. When we stop sitting by and we stop feeling like we are powerless in creating our reality, then that's when things will shift. But if you allow this person to tell you, yeah, I'm gonna put all this bad juju on you, and this is gonna happen and that's gonna happen, and you believe it, then you're gonna feel like, oh, they really put this on me, because the things are going to start happening. Not because they have the power to create your reality, but simply because they planted the seed and you believed it. And with your belief, it grew. So be mindful of what you give your attention to. Be mindful of what you accept as truth for yourself. How do I step into a more powerful version of yourself? That's a great question. First of all, do you have a vision of that version of you? Because whatever you want, that version of you already exists. So make sure you have a strong vision of what you want to embody. And then you create a plan, a real life tangible plan to make that happen, to put yourself on your highest timeline. And it's really not as hard as it may seem. Thank you for the gifts. It's really not as hard as it may seem. Once you have that and then you take care of yourself as a fourfold being, if you are neglecting yourself, if you're neglecting yourself in the mental, physical, spiritual, or emotional, then things are going to be out of whack, and you're going to feel like you can't embody those characteristics. What are those characteristics? Conscious action once you know exactly what it is that you're wanting to get to. A lot of us simply need to start with raising our vibration. And raising your vibration is simply taking care of yourself as a fourfold being. Your mental, your physical, your spiritual, your emotional. Mentally, do games and puzzles and quizzes. Meditate. Spiritually, pray. Prayer is done out loud. Stop praying silently. Your voice has its own vibration, and you activate that which you desire when you speak your desires out loud. So prayer, meditation for the spiritual. Also reading high vibrational books for the mental and the spiritual. Listening to high vibrational music for the mental and the spiritual. Physical, you should be taking a multivitamin. If you are a person of color, then more than likely you're going to need some more vitamin D. Also, make sure that what you're putting in your body serves you. Now, I'm never going to tell anybody you should be vegan, or you should be this, or you should be that, or don't eat this, or don't eat that. Because the truth is, everything is for our consumption. Everything in moderation. And that's where we mess up. That's where we mess up. We have no moderation, but everything is for our consumption in moderation. So eat what you want without feeling guilty about it. That's the physical. Also, workout. We're humans. We have a heart. We need cardio. You should be working you're answering every question I had in my head. Good. I'm glad. But you should be walking, getting at least 10,000 steps in a day. Daily. And that's on top of you working out like 2 to 3 days a week. Maybe 2 days a week. It depends on your build. Spiritual, what we did? Spiritual, mental, physical, emotional. Y'all, if y'all don't start journaling, and I've had clients tell me, well, I don't really like to write, I don't really like to journal. Take your phone out and record all your feelings. Get it out and cry. Cry. I don't know when we stop being vulnerable with ourselves. If you don't go cry, instead of trying to act so unbothered, it's imperative. Especially if you're in a place where you're looking around and you're like, I don't really like this that much. I don't really like the reality that I've created for myself. The worst possible thing to do in that case is to go, you know what? I'm gonna leave everything. I'm gonna leave everything. I'm gonna leave everybody. I'm gone. I just need a fresh new start. Okay, but you're still gonna be the same you. You're still gonna embody that same energy that was a vibrational match to the things that you did not enjoy and the things that you did not like. So instead of trying to cut everybody off, instead of trying to outrun your vibration, which is literally impossible, just raise your vibration so you have a better experience in life, a better human experience. Anybody got any more questions? But yeah, I do not recommend doing any kind of love spells. Or do you think that maybe writing down how you feel and burning it? So yes, absolutely. When I work with people, we do release letters. Anything that you feel like you need to release, write it down, thank it, and let it go. I release you with love. Even if it's a person. If it's a person, you want to make sure that your letter has these specific elements. If it's a person that you have been holding resentment towards, or you've been unable to forgive for whatever reason, what you want to do is write a letter. You can curse their asses out if necessary in that letter. But you want to make sure that that letter ends with, thank you, I love you, I apologize for not always accepting you as you are. And that's where a lot of people are like, I'm not apologizing for nothing. Freedom of choice. But this is what's going to help you move past those things. So you're going to let them know that you love them. You apologize for not always accepting them as they are. You appreciate the gifts that they have given you, and then that you release them with love. Then you're going to read that out loud, because like I was saying, your voice is its own vibration, and it activates real change in your reality, powerful creators that we are. You're going to read it out loud, and then you are going to burn it and allow the ashes to blow away in the wind. And a few times mine didn't blow away in the wind because it wasn't no wind, but it was done. So it is uttered, so it is done. After that, you just ask the high angelic to handle the rest. You've done your part. You have done your part. Absolutely. Writing release letters is very effective. And I'm going to say this to all 13 people in here right now. Most of you, more than likely, should write release letters to your parents. If you are holding resentment towards your parents, healing is so hard, but it's so rewarding. And it doesn't have to be hard. Honestly, I think the key to healing is acceptance. It's acceptance. Accepting things that have already happened. Peace and prosperity to you as well. Thank you. Accepting things that have already happened, learning the lesson from them, and then moving forward differently. Also, accepting people for where they are. Remember we talked about freedom of choice? Everyone has freedom of choice. And when you go, no, I don't like what you're choosing. No, I don't like the life that you're living. Are you attempting to take away their freedom of choice? How low vibrational of you. That's my problem. It's hard for me to move on when I don't know why someone ghosts me. You know what? This is right on time. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. When people ghost you, just look at it as you're no longer a vibrational match to each other. Look at it as that relationship has served its purpose. They have taught you whatever lesson that they needed to teach you. And sometimes with that ghosting, what it kind of feels like is acceptance. Accept that they're gone. Accept that they came, y'all had a good time, and now it's over. Go back and look and see, what did this person teach me? What lesson did I learn from this? How did this help me grow? How can this help me grow? Because just the same way that they taught you something, you taught them something too. And when we hold on to people for longer than they were meant to be in our space and in our reality, that's when it causes suffering. That's when that relationship starts to hurt more than it helps. So find peace in them releasing you with love, and then release them. Write them a release letter if necessary. How do you heal from your husband stepping out? All right, Crystal, I'm going to tell you something that you might not want to hear, my love. Uh-oh. That's what I feel. So you have no control over another person's actions. Your husband stepped out because your husband wanted to step out. He felt like there was something that he needed that he was not getting from you. And that was his freedom of choice. However, because he did have a commitment to you, that should not have happened. Now, Crystal, I want you to ask yourself a question, because not many people understand this dynamic, and many people will reject this dynamic. That doesn't keep it from being true. You can reject this dynamic if you choose to. In the relationship, the man is the head and the woman is the leader. Have you truly been leading? Have you been leading with love? Have you been leading with all that you have to lead with, all that you possess? Have you truly been leading, or have you been looking for him to lead? Also, Crystal, you have to ask yourself a question. Do you want to continue to be in the relationship? You don't have to. But if that is something that you truly want, then I suggest you sit back and figure out how you want to lead in this relationship. And if you have chosen to forgive him, truly forgive him. I know it does not happen overnight. It will not happen overnight. But truly forgive him and don't bring things up. Accept that it has happened. Come to some understanding. Hopefully he is verbal enough and open and honest enough to communicate, what his reasoning was. And then release it so you truly can build again on a solid foundation. New here, are you familiar with BPD by chance? Is that bipolar disorder? What's BPD? Not having closure on a relationship is hard. How can you fix something you didn't know was broken? It's not for you to fix. That's not for you to fix. Every relationship is not meant to last forever. Do y'all realize how many twin flames you come across before you meet your soulmate? Do you realize how many lessons that you have to learn to grow to be the person who is a vibrational match for your soulmate? What are you learning from these relationships? Every relationship is not meant to last forever. When I tried to lead, he told me he's the man. I tried to let him lead. Right. So figure out how that looks in your relationship. It works for everybody differently. So when you tell a man, I'm the leader, immediately they don't hear shit you say. Just do it. Just lead. And it's in the subtle ways, y'all. Like, okay, so for example, my husband wanted to smoke the other day. I said, I'm embodying my highest timeline. I said, no, I'm not smoking today. He started smoking and then he was like, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna smoke today either. I didn't say, I'm not smoking today. You shouldn't smoke. We ain't smoking today. I simply led by example. Y'all know how to use this divine feminine energy? You're welcome. How do you let go of what happened to you towards the end of a relationship? Accept it. First, you have to accept it fully and completely. And y'all, these experiences that we have, they're not our life. Literally everything that is happening to you or happening in your reality is happening because you are a vibrational match to it. You are subconsciously believing it. That's pretty much it. So when you look at things with a different set of eyes and go, this is not happening to me, but this happened for me to grow and to expand in some kind of way, then you understand things a little differently. But you have to accept it because the relationship is over, right? Why would you hold yourself hostage to that situation? Why would you hold yourself hostage in that moment, to that moment? That blocks your heart off. That means, nope, I'm not ready to receive any more love, y'all. I'm still stuck on this. Free yourself. Borderline personality disorder. It's okay. I think it's the main cause. I'm having trouble healing. So all mental things start spiritually. And if that is a belief that you hold, then that is the reality that you will create. We have the ability to push lower vibrations away from me. That also lets me know that you are under the influence of lower vibrational energies. And release oil, I made a video using it in my bath yesterday. Get you some release oil and then start to speak about your life and your situation differently. There's nothing wrong with you. I'm trying to move on and have my spiritual breakthrough. Something's blocking it. The belief that something is blocking it. As long as we believe that there are blockages, there will be blockages. It was successful up until a certain point. Now it's blocked. Just raise your vibration. No, you're fine. That's not a lot. Just begin to raise your vibration. Begin to take better care of yourself in those different departments, in those 4 different aspects: mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional. And you'll see things start to shift for you. But it has to be a consistent thing. It can't be well, I did it for a week. No, forever. Forever. Stop telling yourself that something's wrong with you too. It's not. My husband's not like that. He feels like everything he does is right. He won't even hear me out. Well, you know what? Lead by example. Begin to raise your vibration, and he should pick up on it. Also, this is a conversation that needs to be had with a lot of spouses. And this is something that this is a conversation that I had with my husband, especially when my gifts started to come online heavier and heavier. We talk about communication. We talk about love. We talk about honesty, respect. Are you committed to growing with me? We are here not to stay the same. We are here to grow. If there is not a commitment to grow, it's a dead-end relationship. So everybody, go ask your husbands, are you committed to your husband, your wife, whoever you're married to, boyfriend, girlfriend, I don't care. Ask them, are you committed to growing with me? I met my husband when I was 18. We got married when I was 20. And we're still married now. I'm not the same 18-year-old. And he's not the same 20-year-old. There has to be a commitment to growth. To growing together. Nothing is wrong with you. Yeah, that makes sense. I'll focus on it like that. Nothing is wrong with me. All is well. Good afternoon, Darlene. That's what I've been doing, holding myself hostage and not accepting what was. You got to free yourself. No one else can do it but you. Hi, my name is Michelle. I'm new. My husband passed and my spine started curving. Had to have surgery. I'm confused. Oh, great advice. Thank you. I'm glad it resonates with you. My eyes are opening just by listening to you, because everything you're saying, it's like a bell ringing. Good. Good, good, good. Hey, Michelle. Is it like what we put out, we will attract in, meaning manifesting a better life, and it will? Yes, however, I want you to manage your expectations when it comes to that. The law of attraction is always working. Always, always, always. So usually when we think about manifesting, we think about, oh, well, I want things to be better, so I'm gonna manifest something to be better. However, we completely neglect the fact that we have been manifesting and the universe has been responding to, universe, source, God, whatever name you put on it, has been responding to the signal that we put out, our dominant point of attraction, right? Our main point of vibration. So it's not like today I say, oh, well, I want $1 million, and tomorrow that's going to happen, or next week that's going to happen. Simply because the momentum that is built up behind what you currently believe, based on the things that you were taught as a child, the things that you were told, the things that you just picked up and believed about yourself, all of that has built up momentum in the years. So it takes time for you to kind of switch gears. It takes time to kind of switch gears. But yes, absolutely. You take better care of yourself. You raise your personal vibration so that you are a vibrational match to higher vibrational experiences and people, and things will be better. Things will change for you. You can manifest a new life and create a completely different reality for yourself with consistency. Just like, you know how sometimes you can wake up in a bad mood and you go out and it's like every car that gets in front of you is driving super slow and everybody's just getting on your nerves? That's because that is what you're a vibrational match to. You putting that energy out, so that's what you're getting. Some people, they can have completely different interactions with the same person. Oh, you might not want to work with her because she does A, B, and C. But then you're going to have a completely different interaction with this person. That's because the vibration that they are a match to, that's what they were getting from that person. And your vibration could be a little higher, so you get a completely different version of that same person. Everything is vibrational. If I'm used to cutting a person off to get over them, but now we have a child, how do I get past it? I'm just gonna say emotional maturity. Emotional maturity. Especially with the child being involved, there has to be some kind of communication there. I want to say, yeah, just emotional maturity. Hey, Takesha. I hope I said that right. But yeah, emotional security. You have a child together. That child needs both parents in their life. In one way, shape, or form. That child needs both of you. And that child needs a positive example. I'll tell you, Nene, to start raising your vibration. When you raise your vibration, so the way that it works, it's like a pyramid, right? And at the top of the pyramid is your spirit, the spiritual portion. And then it's the physical portion, and then it's the emotional, and then the mental. The mental is the lowest portion of our fourfold beings, of ourselves. So what's happening now is a lot of people, because they are so disconnected from their spiritual, the mental has taken the lead role where the spiritual should take the lead. And the mental will play tricks on you. The mental will play tricks on you if you allow it to. So when you take care of yourself in those four aspects, when you take care of yourself as a fourfold being, then you put the spiritual back then you put the spiritual back in the lead where it should be. And when the spiritual is leading you, when the spiritual is guiding you, that's when you begin to make more high vibrational choices for yourself. That's when you begin to not be so petty. That's when you begin to do things that align with where you see yourself going in the future and not what you have already experienced in the past. And that's why so many people are stuck in a loop, because their mental is running the show. The more I listen, the more I learn, heal, and grow from the dead-end relationship that I was in. Good. I am so glad that this is helping you. A lot of times, and I will say this, no relationship and no person is a waste of time. I feel like I may have gotten cut off from a friend, and I've called this person for like the past 3 weeks with, you know how when it ring, then they sing the voicemail. And I'm like, wow, okay. So maybe she has done what is in her best and highest good if we're no longer aligned. And I know my vibration has risen. So sometimes when two people are no longer aligned, it does feel like, oh, I just got ghosted. But y'all were going to miss each other anyway. And then if you try to force the relationship to work, there will be resentment on some person's end. So true. I'm so glad I'm here spiritually and mentally. I'm glad you're here too, girl. OMG, you came at the right time. Is there any exercises I can do to help with my mental? If I tell you, you're gonna think it's just too simple and too easy. To help with your mental, do word puzzles. Do regular puzzles. Read high vibrational books. I recommend Everything by Elliot Eli Jackson. All of his books are on Amazon. What else for the mental? Oh, meditate. If you do not meditate, meditate. Meditate. There are millions of meditations on YouTube. Find one that you resonate with. When the person gets on your nerves and you're tired of hearing them talk, like start with a guided meditation until they irritate you, and then you'll know, okay, I don't need a guided meditation anymore. Also, take breaks from social media. When you're on social media for too much, you are comparing and contrasting your life to everybody on there. Even if you're not consciously doing it, you're still comparing and contrasting your life to what other people have going on, and they're only showing you their highlights. You don't know their real lives. So be more present in your real life. I don't see him as a waste of time. I see him as lessons to move forward in my life. All right, now make sure you learned that lesson. Whatever they are, go write them down. Write the lessons down. This person taught me X, Y, and Z, and I thank you for that. Also, write him a release letter. In that release letter, let him know that you love, well, you can cuss his ass out if you want to, if that's how you're feeling. Let him know that you love him. You appreciate all the gifts that he has given you. You apologize for not always accepting him as he is or as he was, and then you release him with love. Okay? Because if you don't learn the lesson, a lot of people come in and they fuck us up in order to teach us self-love. A lot of people want to attract this person who, you're welcome, who will love them so deeply, more deeply than they love themselves, and that's never going to happen. It just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. You're welcome. You're welcome. Because if you don't learn that lesson, you're going to find another dude in a different body and experience the same thing, because it's all vibrational. All right, y'all, I do have to go get my children. I appreciate y'all for popping in. If you guys ever need any one-on-one guidance, you can reach me here, therealgoddessgateway.com. Also, I will never inbox you. I will never give you a reading in your inbox. There are about 10 scam pages of The Goddess Gateway. They don't go live, quite obviously, but this is me, all right? So follow, make sure that it's the real me. You're so welcome, Heather. I appreciate you, and I will see y'all guys tomorrow.